All right, guys, welcome back to the Side Dish Podcast. I'm your host, Aaron Shin, joined as always by my co-host, Jay Lee,
Hey.
our good friend, James Chung, and my fiance, Jaehyun Peck.
Hello.
Guys, it's been a while since we've all hung out.
I just want to point out, I believe this is my first pod with Jaehyun.
That might be true, yeah.
And this is the reason I was pushing to be on the pod with her.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I don't want a podcast with my fiance necessarily, but, it's great that you invited her and included her and stuff. That's really nice.
I don't know if that's how it happened, but
Also, she's only been on like 2 or 3, so it's not really like
3, yeah.
Yeah.
what's that supposed to mean?
Well,
So I mean,
as soon
so
as
you saying that it's like my first time being on the pod with Jaehyun, like it's usually the first
It's a
time
rare
everyone's been.
That's
exciting.
true.
The
That's
pod.
true. No, it's because like when I proposed to her, I was like, babe, I can't wait to like spend the rest of my life with you. But like, do not encroach on podcast time.
This is my time.
I looked at her directly in the eye, clutching her shoulders, and I said, if you encroach on podcast time, and babe, remember what you said to me? Tell them.
I hate improv.
She did say that, but for a different conversation.
No, I'm not in the
This
mood.
is why I don't want
I'm
to
not in the mood to do it.
You're making her character assassinate herself.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Stop bullying me.
Jaehyun, Aaron
Fine.
wants you to play the role of overbearing fiance.
I know.
Not even. I just want you to play along. If you're going to be on the podcast, you got to play along. You don't have to be overbearing.
Oh no, but just as a character.
No, I don't like that character.
Okay,
She's like that in real life.
What character
so.
did you? Wait, what?
Heyo.
Damn. All right, this turned into Jaehyun Aaron's therapy session. How are you guys feeling?
I'm feeling fine. I don't know what's up with him.
No, we're doing great. Honestly, it's a damn pleasure to be back on as usual.
What have you been up to, James?
I've had some friends in town, and then I know Aaron. I told Aaron this last week, but I was like trying to like take a chill week for the first time in a while, where I just like didn't go out or do anything. Basically, like where I like was like at home before midnight.
Before midnight.
Which is
That's still
I know
intense.
that sounds.
Yeah.
I know that sounds like. I mean, like normally it's way earlier, but just as like a vague rule. But yeah, and then Aaron was like, I got such a boner when you said that, and I was like, that's a weird way. To
I would
characterize
never
it.
say that. That's disgusting. I would never say I got a boner for anything except for intercourse.
Well, okay, then.
I would beg to differ.
Play it back. All the times I've said I have a boner.
We can go back to every episode of the podcast for that.
If this
So
weren't
many
a
of
bit,
them?
you'd be gaslighting me.
Exactly.
So on Instagram today, our friend Chiwon, who runs a toilet paper company, he posted a story of like this video, and it featured Celine,
dude.
our old co-host, and
Not-
also
some people.
Not just Celine. We got like Daniel in there.
Daniel.
We have Rob's in there. Yeah, Jaehyun's in there. I'm in there.
Jaehyun and Aaron Shin of the Side Dish podcast, and I was very pleasantly not surprised because I knew you guys were going to be on there. But
I'm not gonna
yeah.
lie, man. Jan knows. I had so much fun at that
He
shoot.
had
Oh,
so
really?
much fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
He got some practice from our wedding shoot.
I definitely did.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
They loved him.
oh.
I
You
need
were
to ask Jiwon
fucking
for more
working
money
it?
because he was like, "Yo, Hyung, you saved the shoot." Because I don't think he got a lot of photos that he really liked towards like the middle of the afternoon. I think
Everyone's
okay.
making like
the
same
kind of faces.
Same faces.
Yeah.
So he was like, "Can you just make funny faces that are
Anything
not
but,
of you shitting?" And I was like, "Finally, someone wants me to
Say
just make
less.
funny faces." Yeah. So we did a bunch of bits. It was fun. It was definitely improv for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, physical improv, which
Yeah,
I think
physical
I could
comedy.
get down with like way more.
Because
than,
he also he took a series of photos of me and Jaehyun like in the bathroom together and like kind of like how would a couple be interacting when someone's on the
Yeah.
toilet. So we did like a few bits there. It was fun.
Wait, I have a question. Are you guys inhabiting the toilet when someone's like taking a shit, like to get like?
In the shoot, you mean?
No, in real life.
Oh no, I don't think I've ever.
Because I would never. Oh, I bring this up because that's the concept, right? Something that just
Sure, that's true. That's true.
But my friend Bobby, he was looking for a house to move into with his girlfriend, and he had mentioned like wanting to maybe look in this area, and so I just started looking just to see if I could find something. And at one point, I found a place that like fit his like what he needed, like this budget, this many rooms, this size, parking, blah blah blah. And I didn't look at it that closely, and I just sent it over. and he was like, "Yo, this is pretty cool. What's up with that bathroom?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" And I click over the link I sent him, and I look more carefully, and I realize there's like a huge toilet with a huge bathroom with 2 toilets next to each other.
Oh, nice.
No separation.
Sick.
And
In an apartment?
in like an apartment, and I was like
so
a
weird.
villa or something, you know what I mean? But still, like no like there's not even like a barrier between them. There's like
Right.
2 exposed
Right.
full like toilets next to not like a bidet,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
straight up toilets. And I was like, oh, that's perfect. You and your girlfriend can hold hands while taking a shit. I don't know what,
Yeah.
like, actually, I felt weird that I sent that to after having seen that.
Yeah. It's like a 2-bed, 2-bath, but like the bathrooms are just one big bathroom, you know? I spent way too much time like trying to figure out why this exists.
Maybe that's the goal in relationships. Like
I
when you
definitely
can
have heard of
reach-
that.
When you can reach like shitting at the same time.
I mean,
next to each
Jaehyun and I
other.
are still working our way past like hearing each other take shits, you know, like blowing ass into the toilet.
It's something, yeah. It's,
I mean, obviously, like I
Wait,
know
is that true, Jan? Do you try to hide the loudness of your? This is
Of course.
okay. Interesting.
And I
then
will
that-
let
that's
it
not
fair.
stay
Well, that's
that
also not
way.
fair to ask Jaehyun because she never shits. Girls, we all know
She's
girls.
never done
we
it
all
in
know
her
girls
life,
don't
yeah.
take.
We
Girls
shit,
don't poo.
We shit flowers.
Yeah, girls don't
But
poo.
I remember there was a point when I was seeing a girl and like, you know, she would come over and would have to use the toilet sometimes, but she had mad bathroom anxiety. And so I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
listen, I'll put on like my AirPods and
We always say like sing to yourself
I'll like put on, I was like,
and the funny thing is, like, we do sing. We legitimately will sing to ourselves.
and just like blast music.
the
Yeah.
person outside.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And also
Would
the
be
person
way funnier-
inside
would be funnier-
also plays something loud, and also he like turns on the faucet.
I do
and
the
everything.
faucet trick, yeah.
Except the faucet doesn't
Yeah.
work.
Well, I
She
think
says
it
that to me,
does-
but-
I think
You have
it
a
does
quiet
help.
faucet.
You know what's funny is like when I am in that situation and I'm taking a shit, I listen to music on my phone that I never listen to, right? Because like I'll normally listen to like pretty chill music.
Heavy metal.
Yeah.
But then, I'll like put on like heavy metal or like
Or, like,
fucking,
New Orleans
Stray
jazz.
Kids
Wait,
or, like,
you're in the
some, like,
bathroom and you're
fucking
putting music on
crazy,
your
like,
phone?
So
I do
Jan,
it. I
Jan
do
does
it.
that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But no, on the outside, someone is like singing to themselves or like playing Jedi Survivor on full volume.
Yeah.
I'll if it's someone like that I'm either like a friend
Getting to know.
or someone I'm getting to know like more recently, I will courtesy just put the music up.
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
without
yeah.
mentioning it.
Yeah.
yeah.
But you know, I'm not like I'll just do it as a courtesy, but
Yeah.
like
It's like, why hasn't someone invented a toilet that like creates like a suction vacuum around your anus so that like no sound can escape, you know?
I mean there's a lot of good reasons why.
Oh.
Give me 3 good reasons why.
Too many particulars.
Wrong. We create a
Particulates.
suction. We create a vacuum so strong that the shit is
Organs?
pulled out of your rectum.
Organs?
Next question. I got a haircut. 2 days ago. What do you guys think?
You look good.
Looks good.
I
It
know,
looks like a cleaned up version of your normal. I feel like the last time I saw you it just looked like this.
but longer.
And but like I hadn't seen you in like
a week.
a week.
I saw
and
you
it's
last
just,
Friday.
It's just the same. Like,
Yeah, well.
that's
that
true.
week, no, it's that last week of a haircut always looks the worst.
Oh, so
Yeah,
you're
yeah, yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So,
Right?
so I did look bad.
No. Just like so, I didn't. I
Well,
missed the
compared
bad
to
period.
like compared to a fresh cut, of course.
Wow.
Well, I wouldn't say bad, but
Dang.
your hair is longer.
I like long hair. For the record, I like having a long hair, but I don't have as much hair as I used to.
I've been growing it out.
You have, and you've been doing like the 5 to 5, like
Odeo,
odeo thing,
the middle-
like right
I-
in the middle.
I moved on to a middle part.
Have you ever gotten a perm before?
Yeah, I have.
Nice.
There was a point when I was dating my an ex of mine, and I'd gotten a perm. I think I just like my hairstylist that I was going to pretty frequently. She had recommended a perm to me, and I said okay, and I got a perm, and then I ended up eventually going to China for just travel with my ex. But we were secretly dating in the office. So we couldn't both post the photos. It would like if we were trying to like hide it or whatever. So I let her post the photos and I just withheld. But then like a year later, we were on a trip to my ex and I. We were going to go to Bangkok, and I was like, "Oh, I can post the photos from my China trip now. Finally, there's like something app." But I realized I had a perm then, so I had to get another perm to match the old perm to make the timeline.
The things that we go through to keep up appearances.
Yeah,
and,
I'm
You
serious.
wow.
I know, but yeah, because like
James is a little deceptive, man. You don't get it twisted. This boy
it was
boy
just
can
well, I just realized I was
Very
like, oh, I
smart.
can finally get to post this photo. I'm looking at it, I was like, my hair looks so different.
Yeah, I'm thinking about getting a new haircut as well.
What are you thinking?
Again?
Just bald.
No, please no.
Okay, what word that word?
Like Bruce Willis in Die Hard.
That's very bald.
Have you ever done like a bald? I would like. There was.
I haven't done it before, but I downloaded this app that like simulates what you look like bald. And I look really good.
Can we see it?
No. The app is
I remember like I did that app, like a bald app or like a bald filter on Snapchat or whatever, just to see like, oh my god, if I ever start losing my hair, how am I gonna feel?
Are you losing your hair?
And then I
guess we're all losing our hair.
well,
every
and
day.
then I was
I'm
like,
actually, my hair is like actually getting stronger.
Jaehyun's actually her like scalp
I'm
sucks
like-
up my hair from the floor.
I'm sucking up everyone's follicles.
You have an insane amount of hair, my dear.
Well, you saw my parents. They both have
It's-
lot of hair.
Our kids are gonna have some bushy ass heads.
sometimes it skips a generation.
That's a great thing.
Doesn't it skip a generation?
does
really?
skip a
Says-
generation.
They say it skips a generation and it comes from the
My
mother's
mom's.
side.
But you know
Yeah.
what? That I realize I don't think is true.
Because okay, can I just say you question a lot of things
No,
that
but
are
because
Your
let me tell you
mom
what.
has a lot of hair.
hell yeah.
Let
she
me tell you
does.
what. Let me tell you why. My mom has like a full head of hair. My dad is like very thin. My uncle on my dad's side, full head of hair, and also my mom's side grandparents. Actually, all my grandparents had like strong hair. And then, but then I heard it like skips a generation, but it comes to your mom's side anyways, and all the generations that would be applicable to. I seem to be in the clear. And then I started losing my hair in my 20s for sure.
Yeah, me too.
And
Jay has a lot of hair.
Jay has a good head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember one of my hairstylists like 5 years ago.
How did you notice it? Is it just from it falling out? Because that's
You can
normal.
see it. Well, okay, it was for me. It was
That's
like
normal.
I think the
like,
volume of
You-
the rate and volume of it falling
Yeah.
out was noticeable.
like maybe like hairline wise, can you notice that?
Yeah, for sure.
'Cause-
Yeah.
for me it was like in the shower. You could for sure.
You could definitely
way
see a
more
big
hair.
I think
increase,
it's more.
yeah.
Falling out.
I think it's more of like because there was a time when I thought like my hair was thinning,
Yeah.
but I don't know what it was. But my mom and I like freaked out and we like went to the hair like salon and like did the whole clinic thing. But anyways, it didn't work.
to piquer.
But that shit does not work. But for me, at least, it wasn't the hair that like fell out because every shower I have like hair falling
Right.
out.
Right. Yeah. That's normal.
But it's more like when you're doing the shampoo and conditioner, it's like how much you feel from your fingers with your fingers. And you're like just rummaging through it and you're like, oh, I have a little less than what I had before.
Yeah. It feels
At least
less
for
thick.
girls. Yeah. Yeah.
It was like the amount of hair falling out, and then also like it would like look thinner. But then, but this was like 5 or 6 years ago. One of my first like hairstylists in Korea, he was like, "Yo, bro, your crown is fading."
Yeah.
Honestly, in Korea, it's super common for guys to just like start taking like hair loss meds.
Yeah, totally. Actually, I got my first thing from a hairstylist too.
Yeah, yeah.
He was like combing my hair back, and he's like, "Oh, you're on this side, right?" He's like, "On your left side, your hair is like thinning." And I used to part my hair the other way, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And he was like, "Simple fix, just switch it over." And that's why I started doing it this way. That was like literally 10 years ago. Yeah, and
So, like,
it looks
right
like I have a
after-
lot of hair.
Right after you got here?
Like a year after I got here.
That's a big
It
thing.
was it
though.
was the hair salon.
Jay is showing off his hair.
No, I mean, I'm like trying to
Like,
explore
Damn.
like
I have
changing
so
the
much hair. Look at my
Jesus, man.
Imagine
you,
part.
you like
Yeah.
you start feeling like your hairline.
Because like
All right, Fabio, cool it. Jeez.
because I'm
You have
like
so much
I think at
hair.
one point I did like switch it over to what it is now, right? and I'm like, should I like?
I'm trying to play footsie with her. She's not letting me. She's so mad at me about the beginning of the
I
episode.
think
you
last
were
time
mean
Aaron,
earlier.
I think Aaron was playing footsie with me
was-
the other day. And
That was unintentional, but then it quickly turned intentional.
I remember. I think it was Aaron playing footsie with me, and I just like was sitting there being like, I think this
Just
will
playing
end.
with
I think
it?
this will end soon. And then
I'm like winking at Jay. I'm like literally winking at Jay, and she's like, "What the fuck?" And then I like panicked. I
and
was
then
like,
Aaron looks down. He's like,
I-
oh shit.
I probably didn't like do the whole what the fuck face because he does wink without the footsie, and I was just like, oh okay,
I
hello.
do that actually. I do wink a lot at her. Yeah.
Yeah,
Which goes on to our next topic, threads.
Yeah, dude. So I downloaded the
not
app.
with a Z.
Just really trying to reach our fucking followers, trying to just like find our base. And
But it's like a completely new platform, right? So like
Yes.
how are you going to reach people? 'Cause I understand that like as an Instagram user you're going to see these notifications, but otherwise
well, you don't see it through Instagram.
I actually
No.
didn't get it from a notification.
I didn't see it. Okay. I just saw it randomly. I heard about it, and then the reason I signed up is that number is numbered on which number you signed up in. And so I was like, well, if I wait and just like give in later, I'm just gonna have a higher number. So I'll sign up now.
Damn, I thought that number was your projected net worth. Fuck.
That would be nice.
Yeah, I think we're 11 million. So
Yeah, Zuck is number one on Threads.
Really?
Yeah,
of course he is.
Like, I
But
guess
he's
so.
like Tom.
He's
from
exactly.
Yeah, he's like Tom from-
he's number
Throw
one.
it
But then
Oh
you
my
see, and then you
gosh.
see his friends list. They're all
Uh-huh.
like 1,000, like 50,
Yeah.
or like
Mhm.
you know what I
Jeez.
mean. Like,
Can we just say though,
Wait,
like that
what
number?
about Tom from MySpace? What number do you think he is?
I doubt he has it,
Oh.
dude. That guy sold out. He sold his company and then just like is chilling.
Yeah.
He like achieved
he
the goal.
he cashed out.
Yeah, that's
50,
not,
Yeah, yeah,
50
yeah.
million.
Not
50
sold
million.
out.
He cashed out.
Cashed out. Yeah. And he's a
cashed
photographer.
out,
He
and
travels the
just-
world.
He's
he's
just fucking chilling,
Dude,
right?
I have such respect. I think that's like the best tech story of all time.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
I joked about how like at some point, if you reach some level of net worth, you just fucking like you just get like a trophy that says you won. You won
Right,
capitalism, and then like everything else gets taxed. But like, because I don't know, at some point, like 300 billion, that's insane. It's an insane amount of money.
How much money do you need to be happy in your life? Everyone's got a number.
No, there's
I don't know.
the premise is false.
Wow, how's that false?
I think they say like there are studies that's like over 60 grand a year you feel like secure and then- or something, and then after some amount you feel okay. But you don't get any. There's no net happiness from more money.
No, what I mean
The
is
more
like
you have, the more you want, right?
Give me 5 million right now. And
yeah,
I think
I was gonna say 3 actually. I think 3 million I'd be like content. I would
Happy
for sure.
with-
I honestly would, but
Wait,
give me the
happy
2
like
extra.
like
Yeah.
like psychologically or like you could just live off that forever.
Well, Maslow actually says that the top tier of his needs is 3 million. That's where I got that number. So
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
What
And
year
just-
was
and
that?
he's like
was
adjusted for inflation.
yeah, that was in 2010 actually.
Oh, I see.
yeah, he's a kind of a newer.
Yeah, he's actually a TikToker, Maslow. Yeah. No, because like okay, I would say 3 million. You're saying it's like 60 grand a year. You're saying 5.
Well,
Well, because like I mean like per year, yeah, like but let's.
do you mean just
think-
to like not work but be able to live a
Well, I guess like maybe having a plan. Like if you
Right.
got a windfall of a certain amount of money that you
Yeah.
knew that you could like use forever, what would that amount be for a windfall?
Exactly.
You know?
Because, like, if
I
you
could-
were to get, like, a bigger lump sum now, you can put it in somewhere where it can make money for you. And then maybe you can make that 60 grand a year.
You could buy so many fucking
You know.
nail salons and like dry
Exactly.
cleaners.
after tax 2 million you could retire pretty easily.
There we go. So that's your number.
That's but
$2.
but if you want to live like if I want to live like we know if you
Upper middle class.
you can't if you're like this lump sum of money and
Like
then
Kardashian life.
but it's like
No,
does that mean
that's
like,
too
these are two
extreme.
different things. How much could you live off of for the rest of your life if you just had like pure liquid like fucking cash versus how much you need to be happy? Then the latter has no answer.
Yeah,
Right. I agree with
I'm
you.
just kind of going with the thought that I will continue to live the life that I'm living right now, like working my job, but just give me 5 mil. And then that will just like set me up.
What would you do
for the
differently?
future.
I love it. It's like, just give me 5 mil.
What would you do
I mean, is
differently?
that too much to ask?
What would you do? What would you do differently?
I think that would differ between
no.
people, but
I
for
actually,
me, if,
like,
if
yeah.
someone gave me 5 mil, I would probably invest.
Yeah,
in it.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's
yeah.
how I would do
I know,
it.
but
But
that's
like
like
everyone
so boring.
would
Okay,
use
Okay,
it.
let's
so
do that.
Yeah.
Each person, what would you
No,
do with
I
$5
would do
million?
the same thing. Like I would just fucking
some
invest it.
might
I think
like
we're
pay
all
off
in
their
agreement
debt.
here.
Yeah.
Like some might invest, some might buy something.
Look,
like
if you
Chanel
put
bag
1 million into like ETFs and sort of like steady.
Well, that's the question.
Right.
You have 5 million. What would you do with it? And you can't just say invest.
Well,
That's a nebulous term. What would you buy, or how would you invest it? You
okay,
know what I mean?
I had 5 million.
Mm.
I'd put 1.2 into a house. I'd have 800,000 in cash. Okay, I wouldn't quit my job. I have 3 million left over. I put that into ETFs or certain index funds that, like, just even the S&P 500, which on average will give me 8% return a year, which is like 100,000. I can't do the math, but that's like a decent amount of money.
That's your 60
And that-
grand
yeah,
salary.
5 million
plus.
is definitely not
Right.
the type of money that would make you want to quit your job.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, exactly.
yeah,
and so
that's like
you're going to
something
stay
that is
honest
like-
and like still.
Chum money,
Yeah.
not chum money, but like like a decent amount of money for you to like, I have some cash that I can like invest in, but not enough to
Right.
like.
So what would you do with 5 million?
I would.
Give it to her husband.
To do what you want?
Yeah.
Give it
She
to
would be
Aaron,
like,
just to
Aaron,
do
here's
it.
5 million. Let's invest it. I'd be like, let's go.
not
Robinhood
in
app open.
Bitcoin. Let's put it that way.
No, but it's a real thing because it's like you can buy, you could buy a house, right?
You know what I would do with 5 million? I would buy a house and then I would fund my own independent movie. Yeah. That's Steven Spielberg. 1 second. Oh gosh, I told him not to call me during the podcast. He's so rude.
I have a question. I was thinking about this the other day. What's your personal policy on your significant other talking to exes?
Talking to exes? I mean, I don't think that I want Jaehyun talking to exes necessarily.
No, what's you? Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
I also do not like that.
I don't
I
necessarily.
love it.
No. Like,
I encourage
no.
it.
I love it when my
Yeah.
exes.
I was thinking, no,
And
because
if they're
it's like,
not doing it, then I get mad.
in fact, I watched that. I tell the ex.
Why
better hit up your ex.
ex.
I had a friend who was telling me like, oh, like I think just putting like a blanket, you can't talk to your ex's policy is unfair because this person that at one point meant something or meant a lot to you, you just have to like cut them out. And so she was like okay with it on principle. And for me, I also like don't necessarily mind, but sometimes I realize it's like kind of sus.
Of
If
course.
if it bothers you,
for
it
sure.
bothers you. You can
Yeah.
act like you're chill
No,
about it,
it
but if
doesn't-
it bothers you, it bothers you.
It doesn't-
I think that's
And
how.
I think
clear
that's
it-
okay.
No, I think
Yeah.
it's okay. I think it's
Yeah.
okay to set those boundaries, but I was just saying that because I don't mind, but if it's literally from like a place where it's like I know that like other shit's not gonna happen. You know what I mean?
Well, I think there's a certain level of trust, right, and communication that has to go down. But look, if my long-term ex-girlfriend were to hit me up or something, I would just not respond. I would probably block her if that were to happen, to be honest. As much as I know that nothing would ever happen, I would just be like, why? Like, what's the point? You know what I mean? I have enough friends in my life. I don't,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? No like judgment and no animosity, but I just don't need you in my life.
I
you
think
know?
I think it's fair. I think it could be like the nature of the relationship too.
Also, like what I've learned is that, yeah, like jealousy. As I used to think of jealousy as something like, oh man, that's so unchill. But I've been jealous at times with like Jan when she talks about old friends sometimes, and I've never felt that way ever actually. But it would actually like bother me, and I would have to tell her, I'd be like, oh, I actually got really jealous by that comment, and it was different for me because I literally, even when some of my former serious girlfriends would talk about exes, I would be like, oh, that's great. Like, you're a human, I'm a human. But it hits different when, I'm engaged and stuff too. It's like, it made me upset, not at her, just it's upset and jealous of like a past that I wasn't part of, which I realize sounds crazy and like controlling, but it did make me feel a little bit like not okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why you would use the word crazy to describe that, because I think I've always thought that was normal.
You're hysterical, woman.
Yeah. I agree, but I'm
You're not making any sense. The words coming out of your mouth are not making any sense. You're hysterical. Calm down.
I think it's normal for a human being to feel.
I can't understand what you're saying. I cannot understand a single word that's coming out of your mouth.
Shut up.
I want to hear Jaehyun.
That's all I have to say.
You said it's normal for a human being to feel
Jealous.
Oh, okay.
And that's totally fine.
Jealousy is actually healthy, is what I learned. Within reason, right?
Within reason.
Yeah,
within reason.
I had a high school teacher who I respected,
jealous.
who like argued.
Damn, bro, you went out with your high school teacher?
No, I didn't.
She wanted you all to herself.
I didn't go out with them, but they got jealous when I would talk about my past relationship.
Yo,
With your 10th grade chemistry teacher in your
How
junior
old
year.
were you?
I'm sorry.
I was
is
a
this
senior.
a real?
That's a
Real
I mean,
story?
that's a little. I
Yeah.
feel like that feels a little bit inappropriate.
Yeah.
That
No,
is a
okay.
little
So
weird,
like, but this
I need more
teacher,
context.
this teacher explained that jealousy was completely selfish, and that if you like had jealous thoughts, had jealous feelings, you were completely in the wrong, and there's no scenario where you're justified. And I was like, okay. But then I thought about it more, and then actually like got into relationships and like whatnot, and then I'm like, no, fuck you.
Yeah, I know. That's totally untrue. I think your
Yeah.
teacher was totally fucked up.
Yeah.
I feel like, I guess for me, it sort of comes from a place. It's like, I don't care if you talk to your exes. I also like know that if a certain boundary is crossed within that relationship, then it's not okay.
Yeah.
There's a
And-
lot of that too.
And
There's a lot of that.
and like
I agree with that.
And so long as you don't cross that boundary, I don't care personally, right?
I think that's fair. Yeah.
and to be honest, like given that fact, like I feel like as a person, if knowing that and they cross that boundary anyways and don't feel bad about it, then it wasn't going to work out anyways. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to artificially create boundaries with which this other person I want to create a life with has to operate per se.
Right.
As
Right.
little as possible, because obviously we both have to make concessions as partners.
Right. That's what I was going to say. I think communicating boundaries and things that make you uncomfortable, as maybe irrational as they might seem or feel, are valid only because that's what that person's trying to tell you about how they feel.
I guess-
so. Like that's
yeah.
the starting point. It has to be like, okay, like for example, when I said the word crazy earlier, and Jen like took issue with that. That's not the right word to use, right? Because that word has connotations of like judgment or like irrationality. And I apologize because honestly, Jen and I have had this conversation like at least once, like a big talk about this, and she wasn't being irrational. I think I concluded from that talk that she was very justified in her feelings because at the end of the day, your feelings are your feelings and they come from somewhere. But I will say that the goal with jealousy should be to pinpoint where it's coming from, why you feel that way, and then trying to work past what that blockage would be, right? So it's like, oh, but you guys seem like you're very close still, and that makes me feel uncomfortable. That's very valid, you know? And then we can work on ways to make the partner feel included or like, I guess like more important or more like close to you in ways, right? Like think about it this way. When you grew up with like someone that you were really close with and you dated them and they're like an old friend, I would never be like cut them out ever, actually. I would acknowledge like there was a history there, but also like I'd have to get over what is making me feel insecure about that kinship. You know what I mean? Especially if they were like, you know, a really close ex, you know, someone that they spent a lot of time with.
Yeah. This was a conversation I had with a friend of mine this week. And we were talking about it. And for me, like in general, I don't want to blanket ban something, like someone's autonomy or agency or whatever, right? But I remember also like kind of giving that leeway to someone I was seeing. And we weren't like exclusive yet or whatever. But often she would tell me, "Oh, I'm talking to my ex." But
She would just say that to you?
well, like she would kind of complain because she was like, "Oh, I don't actually like him anymore, but he's still in love with me," and all this stuff. And but I don't like him anymore, so I don't even respond to him for days at a time sometimes.
That's an interesting way to start.
Yeah.
Before
And
telling a
so,
story.
but honestly, if that were true, if
There's
this
definitely
If this-
Like
an
being at the
agenda.
drive-thru at McDonald's and be like, "What? This is McDonald's. What would your order be?" And you're like, "Sorry, I'm on the phone with fucking In-N-Out right
Yeah.
now." Or, I don't know.
No, but it's like if that were true, it's like this person who is like a not like somewhat recent breakup is still pining for you and messaging you every day, and you don't want to necessarily like even for the girl I was seeing
Damn,
sake
yeah,
doesn't
I see, I
wants
see.
to like wean off of it
Sure, sure.
and take your time. Then for me, like you can talk.
Sure.
You've told
that sounds
you're-
like
if you-
they have someone in their life that really wants them.
Right. But so I was like, I'm okay with that, right? I mean,
Right.
just like, they live in a different country, you just moved to Korea, and you say you don't really like them like that anymore, but they do. And so just
Is
trying to
she
work
from
through
France?
that. No.
Oh, damn.
We love
Anyways,
those French girls.
I let that happen. I was okay with it. And honestly, during this whole period, we were not exclusive. But I know at some point she took like this very strange, like she took a trip abroad, which she told me about, but her itinerary was very strange. Like
In what way?
imagine in this like country that they traveled to, they hit up a lot of areas in a short period of time, which didn't make any sense.
Why?
Like imagine someone's like, I'm gonna go visit Korea for the first time. I'm gonna visit Busan one day, and then I'm gonna go to like Gangwon-do for one day, and then I'm gonna do like another day in Chuncheon.
Right. It's like very
like-
planned out.
It's
and
like weirdly
clearly-
short. Like if it's your
Yeah.
first time in Korea, just be like, no, just spend a week in Seoul and maybe do like a 3-day trip to Busan. You don't need to see everything. In fact, you're just gonna be spending too much time.
I don't know if I 100% agree
No,
with
no.
that.
See, but like, anyways, that's like it was just like I'm not.
But it hit your ear a little bit suspicious.
It was just
That's-
like this
that's
is a
what it
weird itinerary.
Right, okay.
Especially because the transit time in Korea, 3 hours will get you anywhere in the country, but the transit times are much longer.
Right.
And so
So she had boys in different area
I know,
codes.
but then I
Basically
found
what I'm
out. I
hearing.
found out later her ex that she had been not interested in talking to was in this country,
Of course, yeah.
and she had slept with him while they were there. And we weren't
Aw,
again.
I'm
we weren't-
sorry to hear that.
No,
That sucks.
I wasn't. We weren't exclusive, right?
Still
And-
sucks.
Yeah,
I
But,
mean,
Yeah.
but I
Like-
realize it's sus, right?
It is,
I don't
yeah.
even
Yeah.
mind if it was like I guess that comes into like
She played a game.
yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't like the dishonest part was a little bit sus, right?
Dishonesty is
yeah.
sus.
I mean,
Yeah.
dude,
That should be
no
the title of the
matter what-
episode.
Well, that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. It's like
Dishonesty
so.
is sus.
Even still, though, I don't want to blanket ban like talking to exes or whatever.
The way she like started the conversation, like, she definitely let you know that information and like went on that type of trip. She somehow wanted something from you, like maybe like some kind of jealousy reaction or whatever
Yes.
it was. That was, I think,
Yes.
her agenda.
Yes.
I
She
Even
wants,
if she
she wanted you to
didn't-
fight for her.
Yeah,
I
even if she
actually-
didn't, admit it, like that's definitely what
yeah.
I've done that.
It's interesting
What?
because what Aaron said about she wanted me to fight for her.
Yeah, she wanted a reaction.
Some kind of reaction.
Reaction. I will not. I don't because I'm not bothered by those things. Right. It's literally like, listen, if we're a good fit, we wouldn't need to play these.
Right.
Like we don't need to do this.
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
Right.
That's fair. That's fair.
And that's why I don't react to those things, and I can sense them.
In
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Korean, we call it 밀당.
밀당.
And I fucking hate that game.
Yeah. I don't fall for that
It's-
shit. Right.
Stupid.
But like,
밀당.
but on the other
밀고
hand,
당기다.
oh yeah, where you like hot and cold. Yeah, but it's like
So
more
stupid.
culturally.
Oh, sure.
ingrained.
So
It's like
stupid.
how sometimes I might be like an asshole to Jaehyun to get her to like have the hots for me.
I guess the classic example is like every time you text them, they'll respond instantly for like a couple days, and then they'll like respond instantly for like every message for a couple days, and then
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden for like 2 days they won't say anything. They leave you on red,
Yep.
and then they'll respond again.
Yep. That's the game.
It's like that's kind of fucked up.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's just
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it's
just
a
getting
thing.
board.
It's a
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, but I don't.
That's definitely a thing that like every person in this world goes through, I think. I want to
Yeah.
say.
I think
it's global, you know.
It's a global pandemic.
Just kind of it's global in the
Big
same
time
way. It's global in the same way that these big Hollywood blockbusters have been released globally and have been underperforming in almost every country. So The Flash apparently like made zero money in profit.
Yeah.
And then fucking Dial of Destiny by my good friend Steven Spielberg is also like not making any money right now.
I have not heard of it.
Is that the
Dial of
Indiana
Destiny.
Jones
It's
one?
a new indie. It's a new indie film.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
I heard it was
Harrison
okay.
Ford, ever heard of him?
Do your best Harrison Ford impression, Jay. Let's hear it.
Hey, kid, let's get out of this garbage dump.
From Star Wars?
Yeah.
Not bad. Okay, here's mine. Get out of my plane.
The Fugitive.
No, but good guess.
Okay.
Same era.
Yeah.
It's Air Force One.
Oh, okay.
He plays the president of the United States.
love that movie.
It's such a good movie.
I love
I
that
haven't seen it.
movie.
I
Actually, he says, "Get off my
Yeah.
fucking plane," and then
Yeah.
he kicks his terrorist out of the plane. It's
I love
sick.
that movie. I haven't
We can't
thought
say
of
that.
this movie.
Yeah, sorry. Our sponsors, BetterHelp.com and Manscaped, are gonna cancel us if we say fucking. Yeah.
Squarespace dropped us.
Oh yeah.
Chewie. That was my other one.
Hey, James, let's hear yours. James, what's your Harrison Ford?
Well, I haven't seen Star Wars in
Have
full,
you seen Indiana Jones?
and I can't confidently. I've seen parts of Indiana Jones because it's always on TV. But
I
I don't know.
haven't seen Indiana Jones.
Oh shit!
But I don't think. I don't think.
Oh
I'm not.
shit! I know what we're doing tonight. We're getting fucked up when watching Indiana Jones.
I just
Okay.
yeah.
Hell
I'll
yeah.
probably fall asleep.
I literally.
way more down
yeah.
I just
Star
I can't
Wars.
confidently. There's an issue where like there's a lot of movies I've seen either piecemeal a bunch of times,
Sure.
because it was just like on TV.
Well, I hear you. My relationship to indie is at church, like sleepovers and church events, we would always watch Indiana Jones. I don't know why. I don't know if your church was the same way or your church was the same way, but it was like someone's parents had the 3 VHS box set. They like donated it to the church. It was just something we always had on rotation. So I watched that movie. I watched the first 3 movies like probably 15 times throughout my childhood.
I remember watching with church kids growing up was, I guess it was 3 movies. It was Coming Home, the Korean movie, Chiburo, I think. It's like a really
Oh, I love Studio Jiburo. It's my favorite Japanese art house.
it's like I think it's called Coming Home in English, but it's like about a kid who like gets like
No,
dropped.
I
off
actually know the movie you're talking about. Yeah.
And that one and VeggieTales.
Of course.
Or
Of course.
the last one I remember for some reason is Pursuit of Happiness.
Wow, with Will Smith.
I remember seeing it in like a kuyokyebe, like in
Oh.
someone's basement.
Yeah.
And like we got like an hour into it and then we had to go home. I was like, fuck. I
Does
wanna
he get the
finish this
job?
movie.
Does he get the job?
Does he selling the machines or
Yeah,
not?
yeah. Wow. Pursuit of Happiness, what a great film. But I mean, I don't know. Going back to like the blockbuster thing, it's like, do you think we're just done with summer blockbusters and we're done with like the whole
I
experience?
think they're just milking. Well, there's a big issue where they're like milking. Studios are trying to milk existing intellectual
IP?
property,
Yeah, I see.
and like, yeah, people are tired of it. Like they had to push the brakes.
Not this guy. Not this guy.
Well, they had to push the brakes on the number of Marvel movies released. That was made public. They're like, oh, we're going to delay everything so we can
Right,
build it out
right.
more. And then like Disney revived like Pinocchio and Little Mermaid and like so like
Guys, Pinocchio, the live action with Tom Hanks. I
also heard
really
it's bad.
wanted to like it. I love Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
It was so bad.
it was weird how close in time it was released with the Guillermo del Toro version.
Yeah.
Well, we can also remember that Pinocchio is public domain now.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
anyone can make a movie about Pinocchio. Yeah. But the Guillermo del Toro one was fucking lit.
Wasn't the story of Pinocchio even older, so you could do it anyways?
So it's been around. It was an old Italian folktale. It's
Right.
been around for a long time, but the Guillermo del Toro one really leaned into this idea of like corruption and like societal
watch it?
corruption.
Yeah,
we did.
yeah.
It was really
yeah.
good, and it was also like against the backdrop of like I think the Spanish Civil War or some sort of war.
Right.
So it made it feel very like urgent and like placed in history. Yeah.
I liked it in general, but I don't love stop motion movies.
Really?
Yeah, like Fantastic Mr. Fox.
What? You didn't like Fantastic Mr. F?
Well, I just like
MFF?
don't like I just don't like that like I don't I love
Wow,
like
you don't like stop motion, dude.
I like Wes Anderson and like but I just like that aesthetic. I'm just not that into.
What,
I think it's
what do you
impressive.
not like about it?
It gives him
know.
goosebumps. I
No,
can
I just-
tell.
but
Like
It just-
Wallace and Gromit?
yeah, I'm gonna. You do
Wallace
Wallace
and
and Gromit,
Gromit.
all that shit.
Oh.
Speaking about
It's
church
like-
movies, yeah, we
Maybe
watch that shit a
it's
lot.
like I will say the Guillermo del Toro Pinocchio was very impressive, but I just don't love stop motion. I thought it was
interesting.
really impressive because I know how much like work it takes
gets into it.
to like put that together.
Today I learned something about James,
He did not watch Star Wars.
and he had a perm.
He
I've had a couple perms. I've had frosted tips too.
Frosted
What?
Tips, yeah.
We need to see photos of this.
I wanted to ask two more things.
Yeah,
One more
do
thing.
it. Do it.
What do you think is the worst? Okay, yeah, it's a tangent, but I wanted to ask this because I was thinking about this the other day. What do you think is the worst possible karaoke song?
The worst possible karaoke song.
Yeah.
Any sad songs.
Oh, I already know that one from
That's all the
Numena,
ones I
whatever.
Numa, yeah. Numa?
Yeah, Maya.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Dragastone Dinte.
Yeah,
Any
of those
repetitive
songs.
songs.
Yes,
By-
any EDM song. Sandstorm would be really
Around the
annoying.
world.
Around the
Sandstorm
world.
has no lyrics. You can't, no, but you can't do songs that have no words, right? No, you can't do songs that don't have
more DDM.
like any words, right? That's like,
I don't know if
doesn't-
that's true though.
Except for no lyrics.
No
What-
Okay,
lyrics
so
is unfair.
okay, fine. Lyrical songs.
Wait, it's karaoke.
Okay.
I feel like any song that's longer than like 3.5 minutes.
Oh,
or
but
4 minutes.
Bohemian is
unless-
5. You gotta.
That's
unless it's,
fine
like,
because it's like
before,
3
like, a
songs
minute
in
left.
one,
Right.
and
It's like
everyone's gonna sing
an
along.
8
Right,
genres.
right.
Yeah.
I had two candidates. Or actually, technically, I had one candidate coming into this, which was the song Tequila.
Oh yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, that's
For
true.
like 2
Tequila.
minutes, and then the only lyric is
I
tequila.
know. Great song for like a bar to like kind of
Yeah.
sing along to.
Yeah.
Worst song for karaoke. I agree.
That or Around the World by Daft Punk.
By Daft Punk.
Yeah.
I think most Daft Punk songs
Most Daft
would be
Punks.
really bad for karaoke.
I don't
Yeah.
think I've
There-
ever been in
there's
a
a few that-
karaoke room who like sang
if they
Daft
had
Punk.
digital,
Exactly.
if
Like,
they had
those
digital
aren't really
love or
karaoke
something
songs.
about us, those
Yeah.
would be great.
Yeah.
I want to close out with For those of you who weren't here, Aaron wanted us to close out the episode and stubbed his toe on the way to the toilet.
And he has no toes now.
He has no toes now.
He's bleeding everywhere.
Okay, you know what? I just want to tell Jay this. Do you know where the word yobble comes from? Like honey?
Oh shit, yeah.
No.
Jaehyun, tell him.
No, you tell the story. Because I didn't actually like fully read it. And I was-
Basically, they think it has this. They think it has like the same roots as yoboseo, which is basically like yogi poseo. Like look over here.
except this was from Wikipedia, so we don't know if it's
That's
true.
the most common. They don't know for sure.
Yeah.
But that's the most common.
So it's kind of like, hey,
but like,
honey.
but also it comes from a very like sexist period of Korean history, possibly. Yeah, I'm not exactly
Well,
sure.
I'm so much of Korean language I feel like is very sexist. Like, ane, it's like, well, and also this is coming from someone who doesn't really
아내
understand.
남편?
I don't understand like Korean etymology like that deeply. So when I
Wait,
think of ane,
I never
ane
thought of this. So
to me like sounds like inside. So it's like someone who is inside, and that is the word for wife. Ane.
Right,
And it's
right.
probably not like an. So it probably actually doesn't translate to like inside. But then there's also like chipsaram, which means like house person.
yeah,
and that's
yeah,
another
yeah,
way
yeah.
to say wife.
No, even 남편, like Koreans, like still to this day,
Yeah.
women who are married, they would joke that 남편 means 남의 편, like someone else's side.
Uh-huh.
You know, someone who's not on my side,
Interesting.
which is
Yeah.
That's
really
kinda fucked.
sad and like so fucked up. But that's what like women used to joke about.
I think cheap saram is really fucked.
Yeah.
But also,
Super.
I remember hearing, and I don't know where the scope of this
We haven't
is.
closed off the episode yet.
No, we haven't.
But, well, this is the closing
Great.
out. But I had heard that basically for middle and upper class, I don't know if it applied to lower class women, you couldn't leave the house during the daylight.
What?
Yeah.
Because
Korea?
women back then were all vampires.
In Korea?
In Korea, late Joseon Dynasty, like most women, or at least of privilege, like couldn't leave the house until night, and the men couldn't leave. There was a curfew, so women could leave at night
Why at night? That makes
because
like,
I
less
guess there was like
sense.
some gender segregation. I don't know. I've been trying to I was like reading travel logs from the 1800s. I've mentioned.
Yes,
I always
you
revisit
were.
this book, but they're really
I don't
interesting.
think any
to
of us
do.
like know anything about
No,
this.
it's crazy.
To, like,
I don't know. Eye opening. Anyways, if anyone wants to talk about it, come see me in real life. I'd love to share some thoughts.
James Chung, everyone.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode of the Side Dish Podcast. Please catch us on social media at _the Side Dish on Instagram and Threads, Spotify, Apple Music. Please follow, comment, and rate us 5 stars. And with that said, we'll catch you guys in the next episode.
Bye.
Peace. Also, Aaron, stop taking your pants off.
Never!